Ampersand fairly new to the data and targeting measurement standpoint, but we've been utilizing this data behind the scenes for a little while now. And what we've been able to do in this time is understand and analyze the marketplace and identify ways for us to jump in. What we've identified as a whole was that, quite frankly, the TV landscape needed to move forward. That's our whole mission right now, is moving TV forward, right? So we're giving our partners the ability to utilize a platform that we call the AND platform to tie potentially their first party data sources or even third party data sources with viewership data and understand where their audience is and what they're doing on TV, what networks, what day parts, what programming they're watching. We now get to utilize that exposure data from a MVPD standpoint, utilizing the set-top box data, and understand opportunities to better campaigns. Ingest that data, understand what's working, what's not working. Gone are the days of 50% of my advertising is working, I just don't know which 50%. We now have the tools and capabilities to identify which 50%, as well as better campaigns as a whole.
So what are the opportunities for these big retailers and others that collect first-party data in terms of targeting, in terms of being productive outside the walled gardens, let's say?
Yeah. So historically speaking, let's say you have a list of partners or advertisers, consumers that you want to reach, right? With a large mass reach campaign, you would run a national linear campaign, and you would have no connection of if that audience was reached or not reached, and to what frequency, right? You would then run addressable or streaming campaigns with some good data sources and some poor data sources and poor environments. And you would hope that you're reaching that desired list of consumers that you knew you wanted to reach. Well, now we can apply a targeted TV campaign and actually understand what they're watching. We put together that campaign and identify the best places to reach them. We run that campaign. We identify, hey, 50% as an example were reached, 50% weren't reached. Well, now we get to actually target the 50% that weren't reached. And we get to make sure that goal, that ideal goal of 100% reach against your audience is actually achieved to your desired frequency with as little waste as possible. And then on the back end, post-campaign, we actually get to see which households were reached again and what frequency, and understand what's working, what's not working. You can then apply additional first-party data sources. Maybe they actually signed up and we want to show them a feature, right? We now get to retarget that list. And that cycle just continues going to improve campaigns.
So tell us a little bit about performance, sort of what's expected, how you guys provide performance or work with others to provide performance, because I know that's become a very essential for so many marketers now.
Sure. So we want to provide our partners with the data, as much data as possible, obviously in a privacy compliant manner, but we believe the data speaks for itself, right? There are strategies and allocations put in place that were identified 30 plus years ago that quite frankly need to change. And we know that empowering our partners with the data and the tools and the AND platform, that'll start giving them the ability to identify new opportunities, new networks that we need to run in, new day parts, better ways to reach our audience, right? And so from a performance standpoint, we believe optimal reach and frequency with as little waste as possible is obviously key. We have the ad occurrence data and the set-top box data to be able to tie that all together. From an attribution standpoint, we also have it from a household level identifier to understand who was reached and not, and be able to see who converted. We work with third-party partners. We'll be bringing some of that in-house as well to really tie it all together.
Now, Andrew, you guys work with a lot of supply side, a lot of publishers, several. It's not just the owners of Ampersand. How do the other publishers leverage their first-party data on your platform?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different tools available out there, a lot of different organizations who are utilizing this data in similar manners, right? We're utilizing our owner data to better media in as a whole, right? To identify new opportunities, and measure in 40 million households, 100 million TVs. And I want to make that call out because, as you can imagine, having household level data with multiple TVs in the household, there are no blind spots in the data that we utilize, right? We get to see every TV connected to a set-top box and what's being watched in that household. That's really, really powerful. There's data, other data sources with other data partners that can be utilized others. Our primary focus is to utilize that data and better media.
Great. And finally, some thoughts on how your business has changed, accelerated over the last 10 months. I know it's, the work environment notwithstanding, but there's been a lot of innovation and maturity and excitement, if I may say, in what we do. And tell us sort of what's exciting for you in terms of the work that's been done at Ampersand.
The future of Ampersand, and quite frankly the entire industry, is extremely exciting. We will now be able to apply data, and I urge all marketers to utilize every data source available, first party and otherwise, to utilize that data available in a privacy compliant manner, of course, but to better campaigns and to better the marketplace, right? We are moving TV forward. We are applying data to TV that hasn't been available before. We are utilizing first party data sources tied to our household name and address file to identify and actually follow consumers through the entire customer journey, to understand them from a broad reach play, to understand them and add in frequency, but not add in too much frequency, right? We want to speak to our consumers in an optimal manner and then be able to measure better ways to improve campaigns moving forward. We want to identify that if a consumer raises their hand as they want more information, we give them more information. And quite frankly, if a consumer doesn't want more information, we can pull off the gas pedal a little bit and be able to identify ways that we should jump in and shouldn't. Our whole goal is to be consultative sellers with our partners and give them the ability to look at data themselves and better their campaigns.